All right, guys, welcome back to our third session part, or I guess our third part. We'll have 4 parts tonight. It's going to be great. May have 1 or 2 people still coming back, but that's okay. Let us move our characters.
Just enough time to go microwave a burrito.
Nice. I went and got a cookie. All right.
Now I'm hungry.
I'm going to go to the map.
House elves tucked and yet enough time to grab pizza.
I got some taquitos.
Screw you guys, man.
Yeah, you should have donuts, right? Kerrnel
Sorry.
always has donuts.
It's alright, I had a couple of beers. I'm good.
All right, so we switched everybody over to our map real quick. So you're basically following, you guys are going to be just outside of the town when Ian's going to go ahead and give me a roll to track. So it should be a survival roll, correct?
You say so.
Yep.
All right. So just outside, you guys are kind of standing just outside of the town, a little bit to the north of town. You pick up the tracks, and you're picking up lots of tracks. So you pick up the tracks of goblins, a band of goblins who have come from the north and then went into the town. And you're pretty sure, you know, is about the number of the group that you faced originally. You've also found, as you're looking around in this kind of wide area, you see the tracks of the orcs where they had come from, which still was kind of northish of Nightstone Town, also coming from the forest area. You also see the tracks of, with that roll, you see the tracks that the elves were following those orcs. And you also pick up the tracks of a large group of humans, and you're pretty sure this would be the villagers that were heading north of the town. So those are the sets of tracks that you pick up just north of town.
Cool. So I start following the human tracks.
Okay. So you're kind of in a hilly area as you get a little bit further north. There you see copses of trees every now and then, but not a lot of them, and it's still kind of plains, but you're getting some, you know, undulation of the land as you kind of go up a little hill and then down a little hill, and you're following the tracks. They're pretty easy to find, even though it's been like 4 days since this has happened. These tracks, there's just so many of them moving north, that's pretty easy to follow, and you're definitely sure that you're not seeing any of the tracks that are coming back. So wherever they've gone, you're not seeing like a big mass of tracks where they were heading south again. And you come up to some hills where you're starting to see kind of little dots of what you probably would think might be a cave or might be an indent. And this kind of sounds like about the area when you were talking to the guard of the caves as you head a little bit further north.
Cool. How far away are they?
You were only probably, as you're following the tracks and making sure you're just looking at everything, you probably have only traveled about a half hour so far.
Okay.
You guys are about a half hour north of town.
He told us it was like 2 hours, didn't he? Something like that. Does anyone remember?
It is a good question.
I
Does
thought it
anybody
was.
remember.
I thought it was 3 hours.
It might have been 3 hours.
That was
That
what
would be
whichever guard came back said it was 3 hours.
Alright, so it's only been about half an hour. Okay. And all I see still are human tracks.
It's a large group of tracks. You think it's the villagers just because of the numbers. Yeah. But there's a lot of tracks here.
Okay. And, okay. So,
And you're seeing adult size, small size, everything in between. So it's families, it's, you know, whatever.
and what time is, it's only been like 30 minutes, you said, right?
Yep. So you probably have a little bit less than an hour before it goes dark.
Okay. I asked someone in the party, or maybe I know. I guess I probably would know. Do orcs see well at night?
Yes,
They have-
as well as you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do goblins. They are nocturnal creatures.
Oh, good. I'm glad we're coming at night then. Yeah, so I tell them, I turn back to the group and I say that we've started encountering some caves, but we still have more time.
Yeah, you're probably, you can see them and you're probably about a 10-minute walk from them. So I wanted to give you enough time to decide if there was something you were going to do. But you think you see a few possibly indentations in the hill up ahead that might be caves, could indicate caves, and they're about 10 minutes ahead.
Yep, I head back to the group to meet them, and I tell them that we're encroaching on what could be caves, so stay alert to any dangers. And if no one has anything to say, I'll head back up, and I'll keep following the tracks.
Okay. So you go a little bit further, and they do lead at first to, it looks like it's going to a hill. You're following the tracks, and go ahead and give me a perception roll. Okay. So you're following the tracks, and you're getting closer to... You can kind of see, that you think you see a cave mouth coming up for sure, and the tracks seem to lead to that cave mouth.
That's probably the first cave they went into.
And how long has it been?
Well,
It's only been like an hour, right?
About 45 minutes now.
maybe we move faster.
I would have thought we'd move slower when we're tracking.
Well, I mean,
It's half
pretty-
speed when you're tracking.
Yeah, so I mean, technically that would take us like 6 hours. I don't think I'm remembering that wrong.
I mean, it's a lot. It's pretty obvious tracks, though. It's pretty hard to cover up hundreds of people or tens of people. But,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
if you're sure that they're humanoid, I guess. I mean, if you ask Jarral, he's gonna suggest that we follow the tracks wherever they go to the closest one.
Oh, I think you
Oh, it's
move
green.
at normal speed, but the person tracking doesn't have perception or something like that. They're busy looking for other stuff. They don't do
They
their
were
passive
green.
check.
Was it 3 miles north? Was that what he told us? Was it miles? Because I wrote miles north.
Oh, you might be right. I thought it was hours.
No, the first cave was 1 mile up. Another one, the one they ended up with, was 3 miles north.
This is why you take notes. All right. So yeah,
That's good.
Jarral's on board.
Yeah, so it's feasible that that's the cave. So I wait there for a few minutes, not enough for them to catch up with me, but enough that I know they're close by. And I head towards the mouth of the cave. To see if
Yeah,
this
you
is
see the tracks
safe.
go up to it, and you get to kind of the cave mouth. And you notice that it seems like several of the tracks went in, but then it looks like a couple of tracks come back out, and then the group seems to move off. The group of tracks seems to move off around the hill, back around the hill, and continue to head. From what you can tell, it looks like they go around the hill of some sort. You can't quite see in the cave, but you're kind of at the cave mouth.
So they probably left. Okay. So I jog up and meet up with the group, and I let them know that I found the first cave that the humans went into, and the tracks match what the guard told us, and that we should follow the ones moving away. Are we in agreement?
So,
or does anyone want to check the cave?
so nobody went into the first cave, right? They just
I just looked into it. I didn't go in.
yeah. I mean, your notes.
Oh, my notes. It's the first one was bad. I wrote bad closed cave. That's exactly what I wrote down.
Were there any captured in that cave?
No, they were captured. They went 3 miles north to the caves and were met with goblins just outside of the cave.
Okay, so
So we
if
still have
nothing,
another 2 miles.
yeah, if nothing went in the first one, then I'd say skip around that one. That would be Jarral's input.
Alright, I look at the rest of the group.
Armel's gonna cast a spell.
Nice. Put it in the chat so we can see. Okay.
And then he is going to shift form
Okay.
to a wolf.
All right.
And then I will pad forward and help to track with smell and hearing.
I tell you to look out for goblins, because I feel you'll have a better luck finding them than I will.
The wolf back to you.
Let's go ahead and give us a perception check then for our wolf.
Is it-
I guess it'd be a survival check.
It's not dark yet, right?
No, you're probably within another 15 to 20 minutes, and it'll be dark.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so you're picking up the smells of humans for sure. You even pick up probably the smell of, you think something else too. Might be, I don't know if you'd be able to tell a race. You're definitely picking up a pack of humans for sure, shuffling around the hill, and it looks like it matches up with what she is seeing as far as sight.
Okay.
You're not picking up at this point any other sense from any of the other. You're not picking any goblins or anything else up at the moment.
Okay. It's actually the wolf has advantage on perception checks that have nothing to do with hearing or smell.
Yeah, I gave you the advantage on it, even though I had you roll survival. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So just continue following the tracks is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, for about another mile,
Okay.
and then I want to be more cautious about it.
Yeah, the tracks head north again for a while longer. And go ahead and give me 2 more checks, one from each of you. Let's see, 2 more survival checks.
So as soon as it gets dark, I'm gonna join them at the front, and I'm gonna try and do look for anything that they're not looking for.
And I've got survival as well, and I'll be hanging out towards the back, just keeping an eye out in case anything decides to come from that angle.
Okay.
Yeah, mine will be more perception than survival.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Armel, you do pick up the scent of a human that's off to the edge, because you're not necessarily walking in a straight line where the tracks are. You're kind of wandering a little bit. And you pick up the tracks or the smell of a human that must have went south that's a little bit ways off of the tracks Ian is following at the moment. And you can tell this scent came from the north and was heading south back towards the town.
Our guard.
Okay. Can't really relay that to anybody.
Yeah, gotcha. So we
I could-
continue north, and again, you're in hill area. So you're kind of cresting hills, going down in hills. You're following the tracks, and at about another hour, you come across what you think is the spot where the goblins ambushed this group. You see a lot of tracks of goblins. You see some tracks of definitely some bigger creatures. You see the tracks of giant wolf paw prints. You can tell that they definitely intercepted this group, and then all of those tracks head north again, and it looks like they're heading towards a certain hill. It's a bigger hill than you've seen so far, and it looks like it's kind of making a beeline for that hill, and it's maybe you're not quite sure because the moon is out, so you can kind of see a little bit of the features even though you can't see everything. You think it's probably another 15 minutes from where you're at.
I have one DM question, and then I want to do something. Since I can, when Armel is in his beast form, I guess this is a question for Armel. Do you get the, I guess because for primeval
The
awareness,
druid
I can,
communication or the ranger communication?
yeah, because I can communicate with beasts, and I can we can communicate through sounds and gestures. Would that work with you?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, because you become like a wolf, so you're able to communicate as a wolf would. So yeah, read off that text again as far as what you said when you can communicate, because you can tell certain things about them. You can't just talk to them outright, right? You can.
No, I can just, let's see, I'll do one better. There it is.
Yeah.
The text
You
is-
know his emotional state. You know. You're sure magic will hurt him.
Yeah, we simple ideas. Basically
Yeah. And he completely understands any question you ask of him. So it's easy for you to say, did you see something? It's easy for him to communicate to you yes or no.
Okay.
But that he wouldn't be able to say, yes, I saw 7 people and they ran 50 feet this way and then turned left. He wouldn't be able to communicate that to you.
Yeah, but I would at least know.
Yeah.
To look for something. Okay.
Yeah, yes and no. You would be able to get yes and no answers from him pretty easy.
All right. And part 2 of primeval awareness, I want to I asked the group to wait for a second. I want to do primeval awareness. So I want to sit down, sort of cross-legged on the ground, and sort of in a meditative state. And I'm going to attune with the world around me, and I want to see if any of my favorite enemies are present, and within 5 miles of me. So.
Okay. And what is your favorite enemy? Just so I
humanoids,
remember.
up to your discretion, what that means.
Okay. Yeah.
And the text is over in the chat. If you want to read it.
Yeah, you're definitely picking up goblins, and it is coming from the hill that you are heading towards.
Okay.
You are picking up a group of humans, also in the same direction. I think you probably are picking up humans to the south.
Probably the town.
It's definitely within a few miles. And that is all you were picking up.
Cool. Do I have any idea of how many there are?
Does it give you a full number, or is it an approximation?
You can sense whether any of your favorite enemies are present, blah, blah, blah. Feature reveals favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and
It
creatures.
does say their
general
numbers.
collection.
Yeah. So probably
You can approximate it if you want.
8 to the south. Yeah, and then the next piece. How many of those are there?
Making you do the work. Really, this is just an excuse for me to eat my, what do you guys call them? The little small oranges?
Mandarins?
Tangerine,
Cuties?
Mandarins?
clementine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cuties, clementines, or halos.
Cuties are the best
Mandarines.
because they just like fall out of the. You just peel them super easy.
Oh yeah.
And then
My
you're
neighbor
probably
gave us, like,
picking
a
up.
bag of them.
I'm gonna say probably about 10 goblins ish. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I need to count that too, I think.
Then there's that secret room, then the basement,
Yeah, there's all
and then
kinds
there's
of
that
stuff.
one in the bathroom.
It seems like a crazy ability now that I think about it.
I think.
And would it count if they were underground? Like 5 miles underground?
I mean, it's up to you. That's a
Well, I'm
new-
just even thinking. I'm wondering about even mechanically what they were thinking there.
It's part of the UA, so like I said, up to your discretion how you want to deal with it.
Well, we'll go with it for now. Well, I don't think it'd be too bad. So yeah, I guess that actually ends up being probably 20-ish goblins. And you're picking up at this point to the north. "23 humans
Oh wow.
to the north." And I think that's what you're picking up.
All right, sweet. So after I get out of that trance, I told the group that I sense 20-ish goblins to the north, 20 about the same as humans. And yeah, in the direction of that hill that you were talking about. And you said it's like 15 minutes out, right?
Yeah, I mean, like a walk. I mean, you could probably run there quicker.
So I look at them and I say, and it's all hills, right? All hills around until that cave.
Yeah, the ground is kind of undulating. There's small hills, bigger hills. You're heading towards a bigger hill.
So I'm gonna suggest that we scout it out a bit. I'd like to kind of stealth and look ahead and just see if there's any traps or ambushes or anything as we approach the cave.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stand back a little bit from him and I'll do the same thing.
You're
Head
gonna
out the door
stealth and scout also.
Mhm.
Okay.
Man, my perception sucks.
I'm still going to stay towards the back as we head north.
Armel will go too.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I mean, I'll go with them, but
Okay. Well, there's a scouting group going ahead. Is
Oh, okay.
there people just staying behind and letting them scout? Is that what's happening?
I'll going with the scouting group.
Okay.
Just me and T standing in the trail.
We bust out our cards and dice.
Okay. All right. And so you're scouting up to the hill, is what I'm hearing?
I'm not going straight up to the hill. I just want to scout out and see if I see any, like, guards or goblins near the front.
I'm getting as far as I can without getting detected. If I kind of get the idea that if I see anything, then I'm gonna stop and kind of head back. But
Okay.
I'm going up until I can see the cave entrance and kind of get a good idea of whether or not there's something around it.
I would also just like to remind everyone that there are more than several ogres probably in this cave, according to our guard.
All right, so the group kind of moves off. Teagraiel and Greybeard stay back. You watch the scout group kind of move forward. I still need to see a stealth roll, I guess, from Armel and Ardreth.
That was my stealth roll. The wolf gets a +4, so I just rolled it.
Oh, the 5. Okay. Okay.
I rolled one
The wolf.
And
has
are you
gas.
guys like in a line? Or are you spreading out?
I'm spreading
Is everybody
out.
just walking with each other, or what?
too. I'm spreading out to a flank.
Okay. All right. So you approach.
I go close to, well, not close to Armel, but I stay around Armel.
Yeah. Okay. So you sneak up, and you're not seeing anything from the cave. You're getting closer to the cave. You've not noticed anything on your way up to the cave mouth, and you get close enough that you can see that there's a large kind of opening at the base of this hill. And it's basically a kind of a gaping cave mouth on the southern face of a rocky hilltop with pine trees. And you can get pretty close to the opening, and you don't see anything as you're near the opening. I don't know how far you're going to get, how close you're going to get.
I'm not gonna get that close.
Okay, you're not seeing anything on the way to the part wherever you're going to stand before you get to the cave mouth. You're not seeing anything coming in or out of the cave mouth.
Okay.
You're not hearing anything. Armel's not smelling anything. You pick up the trail. The tracks are still leading towards the cave mouth.
Is there any light coming from the cave mouth?
No.
Okay.